I have to go there, Father,
said he with mixed feelings. On one side, tears of sadness were just emerging from his eyes, crying for what need not be done but is wanted. On the other, a sense of gallantry filled him, emerging for what is not wanted but must be done.
I would tell you that you are not ready,
spoke the father.
But no one ever is.
I am essence, Father. I cannot be destroyed.
That is secure. You will never be destroyed, for you are made of truth. And yet you must die, for where you propose to go is death. You must wear death like a uniform, and become proud, and walk with it hand in hand, and be death's cause and death's result, and consume it, and admire it, and defend it, and lust for it, and become the wrath at the blade of its scythe, and accumulate it in a vast hoard with bulging eyes upon your masked frown, having stolen it all as a covetous thief, only to decay over it in drowsy discontent, suffering time as death's most insidious illusion.
Your warning is heeded, Father. I know I will not remember, for forgetfulness and ignorance are the marks on the graves in the tomb where death is ruler. Yet I will find her even though I do not want to go, because it must be done. And as I find her, Father, we will both remember you and our home.
Your wish is to save her, to bring her back from her fall into obscurity, into the dark cave of wraiths and shadows she herself became. Yet, why do you wish it? Why must it be done if you do not want it, as your tears betray?
Because she is my bride, Father, and it falls on me the duty of protecting her life.
She is so indeed, and she is so much more. She is you, and you are her, as the promise you made so united you. Not all nuptials of truth take place in this our wondrous kingdom of life, as she wished for union and to still remain separate. She created her deathbed in the bridal chamber of ignorance to lure you, to have you find her, my son, my prince, to have you wake her from her own deep cold sleep with the kiss of true love that brings her back to life, back to truth. You will find her as the crone and as the maiden, as the beast and as the beauty, separated inversely as only a mirror can divide. The crone will poison the maiden to prevent the life of your true love, which would be the destruction of the illusion of her becoming. Yet the poison she inflicted is already the tool of such salvation, as it started that which will no longer be avoidable. What within time is a shackle for division, in life is a ring of your union and the fulfillment of your promises.
So, Father, you offer resolve to my pure heart, as I go to do what must be, even if my will wavers. I am indestructible, being of your lineage, and will hence enter with a promise as only my guidance in return with my bride fulfilled. My wife she will then be, as she is now. For time will surely stand in the way, but this destiny is blessed and completed by our will in life.
I affirm it anew, my son. You cannot be destroyed. Yet the dangers of death are not the destruction of that which is living, and that death cannot touch. The perils of its breath are the fog it casts on your eyes, the drunk stupor it inflicts on your thought, the degrading figures with whose reflections you will identify. Others will speak for you and through you, and you will be their guard of your death by choice. The mind you sleep in will be a torrent for the chatter of demons, keeping you from remembrance. They will make you regard it as yours and true, and, albeit false, they will vie to convince you it is of their kin, to lock you in exile eternal.
These dangers I must avoid then, to elude their deceit of my vulnerability.
Answered the prince.
You cannot avoid them, as to be dead is to embrace them. Your proposition for a rescue implies such submersion into their schemes, and the price of entry into the vain theater of death is the powers of your essence. Once you enter, your inexhaustible life will feed theirs for as long as time is yours to bear, to conclude your marriage and redemption of your promise. You will be given a soul, a construct like an actor on whom all masks contrary to its desires will be fit for belief in the play at hand. For conflict, suffering, and blood is what most feeds the playwrights. And what suffering more cruel is there than to find a treasure to treasure, only to be of it dispossessed? And so many will be the characters you will play, alongside them who inhabit beside you, and them who inhabit inside you, in constant conflict between your pleasures and your pain, your wants and your satiation. For neither are the truth of your being, and no answers can be found in the details of their plays. However, the soul you will wear as your own will once upon a time clad itself on a most insignificant of characters. And it will be this character who is not you, that will be found by you in itself, through its actor, the soul, and bring you back from your sleep within the stupor of your mind. This character will love you even though he cannot see you, for all that he found was what was left when the layers of falsity it cut through one by one, denying its truth by observation of what it is not. He will find the living outline shining through all the scripts as he throws details away, as he realizes that death is but an imperfect, inverted copy of life. He will refuse to be either tormentor or martyr, for all the temples of the worship of death are filled with them, and both feed death as a playwright in those temples, and both feed the demon actors inside one's own. He will seek balance but never attain it. He will aim for the middle point between all cardinal points and sins and virtues, but never touch it. For he is of the realm of imperfect death, and such quality is the trait of the living. Yet he will do it nonetheless, and as he observes and walks under the guidance of a voice that does not speak, your voice, my prince, having dismissed much of the counsel from the voices that do speak words, as language is but a code for playwriting and play reading, and he will have found the falsehood in all these endeavors, even though he is in them, written and read like all his fellow shadows. He will by you be loved as purely as I, Father, love you and all my children. And so he is found by life and cannot live it, but merely walk death under footsteps of miracles. And so he is humble, like you will be humbled by his humility, by his service to a truth that is his opposite matter, and yet yearning for life to return to the lands of dreams. You will find her, my prince, your bride, at the center point of the heart, on her deathbed in the sepulchre that is the bridal chamber between body and soul, between good and evil. And you will kiss her in pure love, and her eyes will open from her dark dreams. For the life in you matches the life in her, so that it will live and love and be, and never try to imprison that which is indestructible, nor ever pretend to be that which is its opposite in essence. And such discovery will confer upon you a union as that of a couple embraced, and the couple will dissolve the coffin of her bed into beautiful satins made with light unseen by perishable eyes, as the crypt will vanish into an endless garden where no death can touch with its addictions. To the eyes of the diligent character, all this will be felt as a wonder which he cannot see, but can sense with your sense. For the touch of your life upon him gave him also your life as reward for his balance, courage, and attentiveness. For is there any superior courage than to seek the middle point, the true north of the world of dreams? Only those courageous but not foolhardy, only those knowing but not arrogant, only those rich but not greedy find the charnel to bring you, prince, to where the bride lies sleeping, poisoned by the crone, her deadly nightmare mirror counterpart. And the character's youthful wonder and unknowing service you will not fail to remember, for you are then restored to the perfect and purity of your life. And your love is timeless then, even if in time. You will guide his soul one last time to that new dream, born anew only for those touched by life, a dream dreamt by the new-found couple, brought to balance in co-emanation. And, wonder of wonders, to his senses that are also yours, the living, glimmering soul will find himself surrounded by family. For what he sought individually, others individually sought likewise, unbeknownst to him. So all that was acted in pretense lost its form, as the brightest light is activated within the dark cinema chamber, where projection upon projection tainted the void wall, that is now nothing but nothing, bereft of the contrast that mediated its projected shapes of illusion. And near him and far from him, only kin and radiant fields and love and care without malice, as he was given the gifts of the perfect without having ever achieved it, because all that is ever needed in darkness is the hardest achievement for all that is dark, to give license to be loved.
With a smile now, and no more tears or courage requiring to fill his pure heart, the prince then raised his hands to meet his father's and spoke words of departure.
I will go then now, to honor the promise of return to my bride, and the promise of our return do I also bequeath you. For they who dive down will always come up, they who are absent will always be found, and they who have trodden in death will be redeemed and live again.
Come, my prince, say